Great. Hi, everyone. So this is going to be a quick rundown of the quiz and the correct answers and other things related to that. So the average this week was a 79, which is fair, right? I'd like it to be a little bit higher, but what can you do? The standard deviation was 1.79, which is very high, right? And I suspect that accounts for some of the average score being a little on the low side of fair. So I'm going to go through the questions now. You can follow along by looking at quiz statistics that I'm going to post. The first question, the following is an argument. Which of the statements is the conclusion? Economics is a practical value in business. An understanding of the overall operation of the economic system puts the business executive in a better position to formulate policies. The executive who understands the causes and consequences of inflation is better equipped during inflationary periods to make more intelligent decisions than otherwise. Okay, so which of those is the conclusion? Well, this is an argument in a text, right, where the conclusion comes first, right? Economics is a practical value in business. What is the rest of the paragraph doing? Well, it's giving you reasons to believe that, right? So economics is a practical value in business. Oh, why is that, right? Well, understanding of the overall operation, blah, 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 right? So 63% of you got this correct. 3 of you said an understanding of the overall operation, that one, and 13 of you said the executive who understands, right? So let's think about why those weren't the right answers. So if an understanding of the overall operation of the economic system puts the business executive in a better position to formulate policies were the conclusion, right, then we should expect the other stuff to support what's here, right? But the claim that economics is a practical value in business doesn't support that, right? It's merely a claim. Right, and similarly with the other answer. So next one, true or false, the following is an argument. Lions at Kruger National Park in South Africa are dying of tuberculosis. Quote, all of the lions in the park may be dead within 10 years because the disease is incurable and the lions have no natural resistance, said the Deputy Director of the Department of Agriculture. 7 of you said true, 36 of you said false. The answer was false. Right, so this passage contains an argument in that the quoted portion is an argument, but the whole passage, right, isn't an argument. So this was one taken from the book, right, and there's an example in the book that illustrates this point. Right, so the sort of takeaway is be careful, right, just because some part of the passage is an argument doesn't make the whole passage an argument, right? Quotations of arguments are not generally arguments. Passages containing quotations that are arguments are not generally arguments. Next question, true, false, the following is an argument. The sky appears blue from the Earth's surface because light rays from the sun are scattered by particles in the atmosphere. The correct answer was false. 33 of you said that, or 77%, so you got it right. What this is instead is an explanation, right? So there's something that needs to be explained, or is supposed to be being explained by the claim about light rays and particles in the atmosphere. Next question, true, false, the following argument is valid. The Empire State Building is taller than the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is taller than the Eiffel Tower. Conclusion, therefore, the Empire State Building is taller than the Eiffel Tower. Everyone got this correct. Good job. True, false, the following argument is valid. Since London is north of Paris and south of Edinburgh, it follows that Paris is south of Edinburgh. 40 of you said true, 3 of you said false. That is 93% of you answered it correctly. It's true, right? So what's the conclusion? Well, it follows that as a conclusion indicator phrase rather, so that suggests Paris is south of Edinburgh is the conclusion. Well, what evidence is offered on behalf of this? Well, the claim that London is north of Paris and south of Edinburgh. And so you could draw this if you wanted. Next question, true, false. To determine if an argument is valid, you must know whether its premises are actually true or false. 9 of you said true, 34 of you said false. You got it right, 79% of you answered that correctly. I don't know how many times I can say it, right? An argument is valid if and only if it's not possible for its premises to be true and its conclusion false at the same time, right? In order to determine if an argument is valid, you don't need to know whether or not its premises are actually true or false, right? Just ask yourself, what would be the case if the premises were actually true, right? Would the conclusion have to be true, or could it be false, right? If it had to be true, the argument would be valid. If it could be false, it would be invalid, right? This is just definition, right? So memorize these definitions and actually understand them, right? So if at this point you don't understand the definitions, you need to be in contact with me, right? We need to sort this out. Okay. True, false, the following argument is valid. Premise 1, some men are lawyers. Premise 2, some lawyers are dishonest. Conclusion, therefore, some men are dishonest. 10 of you said true, 33% of you said false. That is 77% of you answered it correctly. The answer is false. Why is the argument not valid? Well, suppose that the premises are true. Can you think of a way to make the world such that the premises are true and the conclusion is false? Right? If you can and you can do this correctly, right, this shows that the argument is invalid. Right? So suppose that as the world actually is, some men are lawyers, right, and that some lawyers are dishonest. Would it follow that some men are dishonest? Well, not necessarily, right? One way to make both premises true is if there are some women lawyers, and only lawyers who are women are dishonest. Okay, true, false. The bolded portion of the following conditional statement is the antecedent of the conditional statement. If today is Sunday, then your quiz is due today. The bolded portion is your quiz is due today. 13% of you said true, 30% of you said false. The answer is false. Right? This is just vocabulary from the textbook to make sure that you're reading. It was also in the lectures at a few points. The correct answer is, of course, false. Right? The part after then, that is the consequent. Right? Here, the antecedent would be today, Sunday. Next one, true, false, the following argument is valid. If Queen Elizabeth was born in Los Angeles, then she's a California native. Queen Elizabeth is not a California native, therefore Queen Elizabeth was not born in Los Angeles. 33% of you said true, 10 of you said false, that is 77% of you answered this correctly. The correct answer is true, right? So suppose that if she was born in Los Angeles, then she'd be a California native, that would be true. Right? And suppose, as is the case, Queen Elizabeth is not a California native, it would follow that Queen Elizabeth was not born in Los Angeles. And then finally, true, false, the following argument is valid. All physicians are individuals who have earned degrees in political science, and some lawyers are physicians, therefore some lawyers are persons who have earned degrees in political science. 29 of you said true, 14 of you said false. The answer is true, that is 67% of you got this correct. Right, so suppose that it's the case that all physicians are individuals who have earned degrees in political science, and that some lawyers are physicians, right? Would it follow that some lawyers are persons who have earned degrees in political science? Well, yes, it would, right? So if it's the case that all the physicians are individuals who have earned degrees in political science, and some lawyers are physicians, right, it would have to follow that those lawyers have earned degrees in political science because, right, they're among the physicians, right? So consider like Bob over here, right? He's a lawyer and a physician. We're told that all physicians are individuals who've earned degrees in political science. Well, it would follow that Bob has earned a degree in political science, right? So some lawyers, right, have earned degrees in political science, namely Bob. Okay. So those are the answers. Those are the explanations. If you don't understand something, please, please, please get in contact with me. I'm reachable by email or whatever. If that doesn't work for you, leave a comment on one of the Carmen discussion boards. I promise I'll be in contact with you if you're having trouble and you reach out to me, but you have to reach out to me. All right, so do good work this week, good work last week. See you next Monday. Great. Let me see if I can turn this off. Great, see ya.